Welcome to my channel. If you've been with me for a while now, I started this channel just making like videos of bread. Actually, way back, I started it in hopes that my little self-published book called Just Wait would blow up. It didn't. It's really hoping just like a couple million people would buy it, but they didn't. But then it turned into just making little bread videos. And now, in the recent days, I decided I'm gonna actually like try to grow my page and maybe make a little career out of it, because that's my goal, is to make a little career out of this, because I'm a stay-at-home mom to 3, 5-year-old, a 2-year-old, and a 6-week-old. And I have this little cottage bakery, and right now I'm selling about 20 loaves a week, which isn't that much. It's fine. It pays for my son's speech, and that's about it. And I would love to have my own little career, but raising my children is and will always be my #1 priority. So if I could make it big, be an influencer, then why not? Why not just show you guys my life? But so I wanted to make a little video to introduce myself and also say sorry to the people who are only here for bread, because I'm gonna do something a little different now. I'm gonna keep showing bread stuff, but I also would like to just incorporate my whole life, because believe it or not, I don't like baking or cooking. That's one of the hardest parts of my motherhood journey, is I don't like to cook. Making meals is like a struggle. I'm like, can't I just eat a stick of cheese and some meat slices every meal? No. And I really used to be the girl. I once moved a bag of flour with me and my husband to 3 different apartments until I finally threw it out, because I'm like, I'm never gonna use this. And then one day I tried it. I tried doing bread, because I learned how bad normal bread is for you, and that making your own bread is really easy. So I'm like, I'm gonna give it a try. And it turned out to be really easy for me, and God opened this door and I loved it. I loved making bread. And God opened this door into a little micro bakery so I could make a little bit of money to support the things that I want to do that my husband deems unnecessary. And right now that's my son's speech. I pay for all of his speech and his airway treatment, which could be a whole another video on its own, because it's really interesting. But so that's what my money goes to, is the things that I want to do that he kind of deems unnecessary. And so God opened that door into selling bread for people. And I was selling quite a bit for a while. I had a little stand outside of our house that people would walk by, and I would take it down to my dad's landscape company and sell there too. But when we moved, I can't do a stand outside of our house anymore. I mean, I could, but we just moved here. It feels wrong for me to be like, hey, we're new here, buy stuff from me. So I'm just selling down at my dad's company now, and it just isn't as much. And I would love to contribute to my family more, and like actually be able to help with things financially, and also just be able to do the things that my husband doesn't want to do right now, or that he thinks are dumb or unnecessary. So that's kind of why I would like to make this into a career. And I know people like hate on influencers, but I don't know why. Why would you hate on them? They are doing exactly what they want to do, and they're making so much money for it. And I think I've always thought that was super cool. Because who doesn't want to do that? I don't know who doesn't want to do that. I don't believe in showing my kids' faces on the internet, so you won't see their faces. You might hear their voice or see the back of their head or their hands or something, but you won't see their face. And I'm a mom. That's who I am first, and that's why I would like to make a living just being a mom. And so a few other interesting things about me. I dropped out of high school at 15, and I started my own landscape business because my dad does landscape rock, so he like boulders and flagstone, wall rock, and I would run the excavator for him since I was little, and I was really good at it. And so I dropped out of school, and when I was 15 I was just working for him. And after I pulled myself out of a little depression pit that I went into due to various reasons and people, but after that I would just work with him full time. And then I got my GED at 16. That's when you can get it here in Oregon. And then I started my own landscape company, and I did that, and it was tiny, but it paid for stuff. But I learned that I am really bad at asking for money. So I was not getting paid by people, or getting paid way too little by people. And I kept doing it, but I decided to get my CNA 1, which in Oregon there's CNA 1 and CNA 2. CNA 1s can work in like nursing homes or care facilities. CNA 2s can work in the hospital. So I got my CNA 1 at 17 and was still doing landscaping, but doing the CNA stuff at a care home. And it's embarrassing to say for me. I'd be so proud of someone else though. But I only lasted like 6 months, and I was so depressed there. I couldn't care for people as much as I wanted to, because the care home I worked at was super understaffed, and I was 17, and I had like 7 to 8 patients on my own that were full assist, and I just couldn't give them as much care as I wanted to. And that really killed me as a 17-year-old, to not be able to help the people how I wanted to and how they deserve to be helped. So I quit, and I just started doing landscaping again, and decided as soon as I turn 18, I will get a job running equipment, because I ran equipment my whole life. And one of the gals that I did landscaping for, she happened to know a woman-owned construction company, and I got an interview with them, and they told me, if you can get into the apprenticeship for heavy equipment, we'll hire you. And I was like, all right, fine, I'll do it. I don't think they thought I was going to get in, but I went in, and I got placed first for that heavy equipment apprenticeship, which I was so proud of, because I really feel like they were kind of praying I didn't get in, even though they make more money with a woman apprentice. But so they hired me, and it was so funny. I remember they asked me, like, what would you like to make? And I was so at that question, I was so nervous. I was like, I would really like to make at least $15 an hour. And you're like, well, I can't do that. And I kind of like gave a little like I was gonna give in. I'm gonna be like, fine, give me 6. I don't care. And they're like, we're gonna give you 1860 something, whatever it was. I was like, oh my goodness, thank you so much. And so I did that, and I only did that for about 2 years until we got married. Me and my husband got married, and I was like, I want to be a stay-at-home mom. And I was working 12, 14-hour days. So once I worked 24 hours. That's another story, because they cheated me on my paycheck. But I was like, these hours aren't gonna work for being a mom. Like, one, being a stay-at-home mom, but being a mom in general. I'm like, I can't be gone 5, 7, 6 days a week for 12 to 14 hours a day. Like, I would never see my children. And they were really kind. They were like, we could find something, but it took so much courage for me to even say, I need to quit, that I didn't want to. I couldn't discuss it more, because they could have been like, we'll only make you work 4 12s and 2 8s, and I would have been like, okay, I guess I'll do it. But so I quit, and I got my CNA too, because that is a much better schedule as a mom. And that is, generally you can work 3 12s. You can really work as much or as little as you want as a CNA, because they're always going to need you. And so I got my CNA too, and I was working in the hospital. And then I got attacked by a patient, and I was like, oh boy. It was kind of hard for me to go back into the rooms after I got attacked. I was in float pool, so that means you go all around the hospital, and you generally end up sitting with people a lot. And I got attacked, and it was really hard for me to go back into rooms. So I went to home care instead. I'm like, oh, it's scary to be in rooms with people now. I'm scared. So let me just go be alone with them in their house. I don't know, for some reason, my brain was okay with that for some reason. So I did that until I was 37 weeks pregnant. And then I was a stay-at-home wife for like 3 weeks. And that was great. And then I had my first baby, and I became a stay-at-home mom. And it's the only thing I want to do. I love being a mom, and I love having newborns. I love being pregnant. I just, like, being a mom is everything I've ever wanted. And if I could make an income off of being a mom without exploiting my children, I would be forever grateful, and I would be so proud of myself and ecstatic, and I pray I can set my kids up really well. And I don't want my husband to have to feel like, if he does lose work for some reason, that we'd be totally in the hole. And yeah, I want to, and I like making videos, so I want to share my life. So I hope you choose to follow along.